Hear the hunger in my voice, they used to tell me to speak up. The problem was of what I was saying, they couldn't keep up. Instead of moving around with some patience, they tried to speed up. It got colder than a bitter bitch, found me a way to heat up. What's a favor for a favor if we all didn't make it? Kept it 100 with everybody, but they just gon' change. I ain't get caught up in the hype, cause I ain't feel like I made it. Couldn't picture me here now, but here's your moment to frame it. And I ain't never understand that self-entitlement spirit. I felt your vibe, I don't wanna get near it. Before I made the appearance, I took a second, took a look in the mirror. This God, Lord, the only thing that I fear. Y'all got me fucked up. It's all passion, it's tradition, it ain't fashion. It's no action, they make threats and it's still passing. I think massive, no respond, that's still tact. Y'all should quit rapping. Cheap shots, I'm cinematic. I ain't average, I'm an overthrow fanatic. How I go, you lose and win like asthmatic. I got first, that's automatic. I'm the best in my division. In the ghetto like the pigeons, in the hood like the engine. You a bird for that chicken. I don't fake split decisions cause my mind made up, nigga. We in the end of time, but my time ain't up, nigga. I was young and running wild and wide-eyed like a cabbage patch. I had to get it as vivid, adapted to my habitat. It's certain shit I won't do, certain shit you can't prove. My shit sound like a payday, yours like more when the rent. If I had $1 for every dime you counted, I would be broke. Watch it be close, got a better chance, boxing the goal. And they know I'm raw, and they know the squad, and I'm feeling large, still in charge. I don't make it follow, I follow the law. Standing tall like they hear on Mars. I just got a call from my bro, he behind the wall, he told me let it off. Niggas lying for some cat, I got a different line in me. Everybody intimidated, I got that guy in me. You get focused on them dimes, I'd rather keep my nine with me. Help me get this off the ground, just know you won't fly with me now.
I try to make the news, I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gon' be the deal. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home the truth, I ain't never had to choose.
I'm trying to get beamed up, man, y'all trying to make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gon' pay the bill. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home of the truth, y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get beamed up, man, y'all trying to make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gon' pay the bill. Y'all out here looking like fool. Home of the truth, y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get beamed up.
Those are messed up, no. Bad news is to beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Go on, get on that ass real quick one time. 144, baby. Run that shit up, Trey.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me a whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this law, told that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about anymore. I need a Vaselina like my Nina Puffer bar. Took a Zoc, watch the dark. Matter of fact, lock the door. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Tsung. Put them out of service, keep them tools like it's Harbor Freight. Try to hold me, it's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Know them boys be taking note. Call them up like set the date. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses, make moves. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them U.P.K rules. I make hits like I can't lose. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that business like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me a whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this law, told that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Yeah, I just got off the call. I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas, get your knife and your fork. He ain't locked in with the counter when you speaking to me fart. Yeah, I just took the floor. Ain't no cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign. Tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion. They can see the outcome. Get them niggas bad, got them tied down and out there. Can't do with them steppers, niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands, bitch, like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, told that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our car. And I just made the call. We gon' start another war.
Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahshai Brakatham to all the brothers, Yahweh Shamar, Alathan Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. This priest and officer 500 Barak Ya'ala of the I.S.U.P.K, which stands for the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under Command and Joel YAHANNA. You understand, since 1969, I've been teaching the truth about these scriptures and giving our people back their true history, language, heritage, and culture, right? Which is the one thing that we lack in order to be able to get out of the hellish predicament or life, right, that we're in. You understand? Today's class is about drug abuse and how it could be prevented. How? By knowing our heritage, first and foremost. You understand? That instead of self-medicating, to seek counsel is the solution. Of course, to seek good counsel from the good people, from the right people, that you could find only in the I.S.U.P.K, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Command and Joel YAHANNA, the men of the Lord. You understand? And again, the first step to prevent drug use, which would prevent drug abuse in the first place, right? Knowing that we would need to seek counsel, knowing how to deal with certain everyday life situations that we deal with, whether it's trauma, childhood trauma, or any type of trauma, right? Any emotions or stress that we don't know how to deal with, whether it's sadness, a breakup, loss of employment, loss of life in our immediate circle. The first thing that we need is the knowledge that we lack or that we reject. That knowledge is that the people who are so-called known today as so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and Native American Indians are the 12 tribes of Israel. And that this Bible is not a white man's book. It's our historical record. It's our moral code. And it's our constitution, in which you will find every single solution to every single problem that we face on a day-to-day basis. You understand? Again, right now, this is the Brotherhood class in English, right? We're live on I.S.U.P.K Montreal in Toronto on YouTube and Facebook. For Toronto, it's going to be I.S.U.P.K Canada for Facebook. We're also live on I.S.U.P.K Toronto on TikTok. If anyone has any questions or comments, put them in the chat as well. If anyone wants to be part of the school, wants to be in the school, you could click the sign-in link into the chat on the YouTube or Facebook. Do your 90 days, get your Hebrew name, learn how you could change your life, learn how you could help other brothers and sisters change their life as well, so that they stop getting high. You understand? They stop getting high, and that instead of using drugs, they seek counsel. Now, before we get into that knowledge that we lack, and to understand why we're so destroyed today, I'm gonna address that comment on the TikTok, because we do have Captain Kataza coming in to break down the 12 tribe chart on Beagle this Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as you can see on the flyer on the TikTok. And someone said that looks like a white man. Captain Kataza is not white at all. He's not Caucasian. Captain Kataza is a so-called Puerto Rican, a Ephraimite, just like the scripture says, Ephraim is a cake not turned. You understand? Ephraim is a cake not turned, just like you see on the picture, right? And there he said, the Mexicans are your people, right? Of course. So-called Latinos of Negro or indigenous descent are our people, right? But let's get into the topic of the class. Anyone has any other questions, comments, whatever it is, we'll address them regardless, right? But let's understand the predicament that we're in today and the reason why we abuse those drugs, the reason why we think we have the answers to the question we ask ourselves all the time, the reason why we think that, we We think we have the solution to every single problems that we face on a day-to-day basis. You understand? We don't. In the world, we don't. We're a part of the society that is oppressing us. We have all the tools provided to us to destroy ourselves even further than we are, even though, as the scripture says, we're already destroyed. Let's see why we're so destroyed, and let's see some of the consequences that come with being destroyed. Because, again, let's just get into it. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, right? We'll go to verse 45. As a matter of fact, let's start at verse 15. And then we'll go down to verse 45. So you could understand the reason why we're in the condition that we're in today. For those who want to see the screen that we're sharing, you could just go on the YouTube channel or the Facebook, I.S.U.P.K Montreal, Toronto. You understand? That's it. And for those who have questions or comments that need to be addressed on the TikTok as well, as we're on different platform, if you could be patient. If not, so be it. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15 says, it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee, which is the reason why we're in hell today. Living in hell, being born to live and die in this hell that Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans suffer every single day, is a curse for us disobeying the Most High. You understand? A lot of us really are self-medicating because they don't know how to cope with oppression. They don't know how to deal with the day-to-day oppression that we live in. But know that this oppression that we're under right now for the past couple centuries is because we disobeyed the Most High. And we have tried everything to be able to fight this oppression. Besides going back to our culture, which is going back to listen to the commandments. That's the only thing we never tried to do. Now we just lost a brother, Rich Homie Kwan, right, to a potential drug overdose. Last year, what's the brother name in Memphis again? Pusha T.'s cousin, what's his name? Big Scar? He overdosed on Percocets because they think they have the solution to cope with the day-to-day oppression. Unfortunately, they don't. The only solution you will find is in these scriptures. The Bible is not a white man's book, but guess what belongs to the white man? Those drugs that you self-medicate with. You understand? Let's go to verse 45. Right? Again, anyone on TikTok with comments or questions, if y'all could bear with me for a moment. If not, you don't want to be patient, it's fine. Y'all just won't get them addressed. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 45 says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee till thou be destroyed. We're a nation that destroyed, that don't have nothing no more. Listen, even anything that belongs to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians just ends up in flames, gets consumed, gets overtaken, gets consumed, and just everything we have is damn near, how could you say it, is rendered to dust, and the strong wind blows away that dust. We can't recuperate anything, for the simple fact that we're not doing the only thing that could the only thing that could fix a community we're not doing is just listen to the Most High. The Bible is our lifestyle. It has every single rules and regulations to abide by, and every single problem, every single solution to the problem that we face on a day-to-day basis. Because we're looking for a cheat code. Those drugs that you're using to self-medicate to feel better temporarily is a cheat code. Eventually, the cheat code stops working. Eventually, there's a glitch in the code that you're trying to use. that cheat code eventually will backfire on you and you will overdose. And if you don't, well, guess what? You're going to have to get higher and higher, because you're never going to get that same feeling that you got from getting high the first time. Your body builds a tolerance. You understand? So you're going to do more drugs or stronger drugs to try and replicate that first initial feeling that you had. And unfortunately, the only thing that you should have done, which we'll get into in a minute, is just seek counsel. That's it. You just call the men of the Lord, which are only found in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Call General Hyman, call a captain, Captain Tazariak, any captain, any officer above you. Seek counsel. Don't do drugs. Don't seek counsel from yourself, as a matter of fact. We'll get into that just now, as a matter of fact. Let's go into Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 6. We're also going to Proverbs, right? We're going to understand that you, first of all, the reason why you can't seek counsel from yourself, because the fact that you seek counsel from yourself is the reason you're doing drugs right now. You understand? This is the reason you're doing drugs. You make horrible decisions. You doing drugs is one of the horrible decisions that you made. All you had to do is trust in the Lord, in the men of the Lord. Don't seek counsel from yourself. Right? Salakia. Ecclesiasticus chapter 6 verse 2, extol not thyself in the counsel of thy own heart. The counsel of thy own heart is what? I feel bad today. Let me roll me a spliff. You know, I got a breakup with this woman. Let me go buy a whore. That's the counsel of your own heart. You think you know, you don't know better. The reason why you don't know better, because one of the curses that will fall upon the nation of Israel is, for lack of better, I'm just going to paraphrase, because I'm still going to give it to y'all just now, is lack of common sense. Lack of common sense as in madness. You know, you should not trust your own heart, meaning your own mind. You should not trust your own, what they call judgment today. You have poor judgment. You make poor decisions. You think the solution to dealing with the trauma you deal with is just to get as high as you can get, so you're not in the same state of mind when you were affected by that trauma. But that just, guess what? That's just temporary. You're gonna consume whatever drugs you consume. You're gonna get high. The high is gonna fade away. You're gonna be right back where you started, where you feel like you need to get high again. And again, your body's going to build a tolerance where you feel like you need to get higher or use stronger drugs. They say weed is a gateway drugs. You understand? Listen, not seeking counsel is the gateway to all the drugs. Not seeking counsel is the gateway to self-destruction. Salakia. And the thing is that you self-destructing like that, really, they have a term for it. It's some type of suicide. A lot of y'all are actually trying to commit suicide and they know it. They just hoping, you know what? Maybe, who knows, that's going to be my last one. And I'm finally going to be free from the pain. Or some of y'all don't even know you're trying to commit suicide. I forgot the term exactly, but it's some type of suicide where you just, you know, you're killing yourself. Now, who don't know smoking is bad for the lungs, and smoking gives cancer. Smoking kills, and you know it. Because you're so affected by the trauma, and that you don't know that the Bible is your constitution, and it tells you how to deal with stress, how to deal with certain emotions. Just seek counsel. You will seek counsel from your own, or from people in the world that are probably doing as bad as not, if not worse than you. They're going to tell you, listen, Smoke this, you're gonna feel better. Or, you know, here's a line of cocaine. You feel down all the time. Here's an upper, right? You're not seeking counsel for the right people. Counsel that you need to seek is from the men of the Lord. And the reason why you can't seek counsel from yourself, you can't seek counsel from the people that you're around who are smoking as much as you, if not more, right? Is because you don't know better, but the Lord struck us with madness as a punishment. We lack common sense just as a punishment for disobeying him. You understand? Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 28 says what? The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. You can't believe that after all this time, damn, brothers are just passing away from all the drugs. I seen a post on Facebook, as a matter of fact, right? I seen a post on Facebook. It was saying this generation don't consume as much alcohol as the previous generations, like in the 60s or 70s, whatever the case is, or even in the 80s. Guess what? The generation, you know, when it comes to some of my, you know, carnal siblings, they do all the drugs. I'm not talking about my personal siblings doing all the drugs, but their age range, they do all the drugs. Like it's normal. They sniff all the cocaine. They do all the Percocets. Name a drug. They do it. They have to try it once. People are dying from fentanyl. They do all the drugs today. You want to talk about, well, we drink less alcohol, no sweat. Well, you do all the drugs. Literally. I remember there was a time where, you know, brothers and sisters were looking at some drugs like, nah, this is some white people thing. Nowadays, listen, drugs do not discriminate. Demons do not discriminate. You understand? And the reason why we lack proper judgment, for lack of better words, you know, common sense, to just seek counsel and know how to deal, whether it's the loss of a loved one, a breakup, a loss of employment, whatever we're dealing with that, you know, makes us feel like we need to start medicating ourselves, is because the Lord struck us with madness. Deuteronomy 28 and 28, the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of the heart. We can't think straight. We can't think straight, and we think the solution is to get high. And then, unfortunately, it results in a loss of life, like the brother we just lost, Rich Homie Quan. Even the French artist Kalash said in a song that he was smoking all types of weed powdered with crack. Good night. Let me show you how the Lord struck us with madness. The rapper Trick Daddy from Florida, who some of us might have listened to growing up, he has lupus, and he's saying to help him with his lupus, he sprinkles cocaine in his blunts. I'm not making this up. But that's one of the curses that would fall upon us for disobeying the Most High. Deuteronomy 28 and 28, the Lord shall smite thee with madness. To think that sprinkling cocaine in a blunt, smoking cocaine literally, will help cure your lupus or help you with the disease that you're suffering from is madness. You understand? Besides the fact that brothers do need to seek counsel, brothers and sisters need to seek counsel, listen, you can't diagnose yourself with the ailment whatever ailment you have. People get high for all types of reasons. Trick Daddy says he's smoking cocaine to help with his lupus. All the weed smokers somehow have a bad back, have some pain somewhere that says, you know what? I smoke because it takes the pain away. I smoke because, listen, how do you know? Why don't you go to a chiropractor if you have back pain? Why do you go to the weed man? The weed man is not a chiropractor. You understand? Your weed man is not a chiropractor. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not into thine own understanding. What makes you think that the weed will cure your back pain? Who told you that? Let's go again in the Apocrypha, right? And then I'm going to read this precept, and I'm going to address some questions and comments on the TikTok. Y'all thinking the weed man on the block is your chiropractor. He's your doctor. He knows how to cure whatever body aches you have. You have a toothache, guess what? The weed man will prescribe you a blunt. He might prescribe you something more than a blunt. Ecclesiasticus chapter 38 verse 1 says, honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him. Physician is a doctor. You understand? Guess what? You have some back pain? Go to the doctor. Don't go to the weed man on the block. You understand? If you have a headache, go to the doctor. You might be prescribed like a Tylenol, not a blunt. They'll make you get higher and higher and higher every single time. Shalom, Yabashim Shabrak, thumb to the chat. Yawashamar, thumb Bashim Yawashai. The point is, your drug dealer is not a physician. Your drug dealers, they call them hood doctors. With what certificate? They sell all the drugs and they say they have your medication. No, they don't. They have the poison that you're trying to kill yourself with. You have some knee pain, go to the doctor. You have some back pain, go to the chiropractor. You might need to pop the bone back in place instead of smoking all the weed in the world. Ecclesiasticus chapter 38 verse 1 says, honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him. The chiropractor is the back doctor. He's here to tell you, listen, your spine is not in place. Maybe you need to pop, a bone back in place, or whatever the case is. I'm not a physician. I don't know all the terminologies. The point is, that's his that's what he's there for. You understand? There's multiple doctors for multiple ailments. If you have a toothache, some people, they rub cocaine on their gums. This is not the cure for a toothache. You might have a cavity. Go to the dentist. Don't go to your drug dealer. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him. The thing is that as a people struck with madness, as Deuteronomy 28 and 28 says, as we just read, we refuse to understand that this Bible is our knowledge. This Bible is our instructions to living. If we knew that we were Israelites, if we knew that we were the people the Bible speaks about, if we knew that, listen, this is all the instruction we need. It just says, go to the doctor. You understand? Go to the doctor, go to the dentist. Don't rub cocaine on your gums. You have a toothache, go to the dentist. That's it. He's the physician of the teeth. You understand? But here's the thing, right? Hosea chapter 4 and 6 says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected the knowledge. You reject the Bible thinking it's a white man's book. Listen, all the drugs you do are white man's drugs. You don't reject them. So instead of leaning into your own understanding by trying all the white man's drugs, why don't you try following the commandments? Your excuse is it's a white man's book, but you're not saying, well, those are the white man's drugs. Why don't you apply the same judgment? Why don't you apply the Salakia? Why don't you apply the same reasoning? The thing is that just like anyone who has an actual ailment who needs to take medication, you hate the medication that you need to take. You hate it. And it's not even a harsh medication. It's just, listen, stop smoking. Call for counsel. You understand? Stop being a whore. Sex is marriage. That's the man you're sleeping with. That's your husband. Brothers, sex is marriage. Don't be an adulterer by making a sister an adulteress, keep her. Keep all of them you're having sex with, as a matter of fact. Every single woman that you're having sex with, you're supposed to keep. If you can't manage, listen, you should have thought about it before having sex with these women. You understand? That's the knowledge that we reject. That's the pill that's hard to swallow. That's the medication that is distasteful to you, which is really just to obey the Most High. That's really the only thing that we have to do. 1 John chapter 5 verse 3 says, "For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous." Meaning what? It's not a harsh thing to just follow the commandments. It's not something that really is painful to you. You just don't have to eat. You just don't eat pork. Men are supposed to sleep with women. Women are supposed to sleep with one man. Don't go try and live the alternative lifestyle. Every sinful act, every sinful way of life that you partake, is the lifestyle of our oppressor in the first place. Stick to these scriptures. This is your culture. This is your moral code. This is your way of life. Stick to it. Don't go. What do they like to say? They say, think outside the box. Listen, don't think outside the Bible. Don't. That's how you sin. Because outside these scriptures, outside the Israelite way of life, is nothing but sin. Don't, like they say, think outside the box. Don't think outside the scriptures. You know. So now, if y'all could bear me, we had a few questions and comments on the TikTok. Right. Let me see if I can scroll up. Peace on earth for all. Christ is not coming to bring peace. He's coming with a sword. That's what he says. Israel Skywalker said, who cares? I want a beer. Have a beer. It's not unlawful to have a drink. There's no relevant questions, no sweat. We'll get back to it then. Right? The point is, if you have an ailment, go see a doctor. Don't self-medicate. Then again, don't listen to let's go to Proverbs chapter 24 verse 5. Don't listen to people telling you, you know what, listen, smoke is you're gonna feel better. You're not gonna feel worse, because they're giving you bad counsel, giving you the worst counsel. They're telling you use something that will kill you to feel better. How does that make sense? You understand? How does that make sense? They're not wise. They're stupid. They are struck with madness, just like you are. They can't think for themselves. And if they can't think for themselves, what makes you think they could think for you? What makes you think you could take advice from someone who can't think for themselves because they're struck with madness? What makes you think that advice is sound advice? It's not. Proverbs chapter 24 verse 3 says, verse 5, Salake. Proverbs chapter 24 verse 5 says, a wise man is strong. Yea, a man of knowledge increases strength. You understand? What is a wise man? What is wisdom? Here's the thing. Who could say what is wisdom? Anyone in the chat could try to respond. What is wisdom? Anyone in the chat could try to respond. What is wisdom? I'm gonna give y'all a few seconds. Right? A wise man is strong. A wise man is a man who has wisdom. But what is wisdom? Anyone on the TikTok could also try to respond. What is wisdom? Of course, according to the Bible. Dolphus says knowledge. Okay. It's not bad. But that's not the answer necessarily, right? What is wisdom? For time's sake, knowing what's right and wrong, I'm going to help you out with that, right? Let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 1, verse 5. The word of God Most High is the fountain of wisdom. That's what wisdom is. That's wisdom right here. Wisdom is the knowledge, the word of the Most High. I.S.U.P.K, Detroit, SHALAM, YAHANNA, for tuning in. That's wisdom right here. You know. That's wisdom. The word of the Most High is the wisdom. You understand? If we go down to verse 14, we'll see what's wisdom. The word of God Most High is the fountain of wisdom, and her ways are everlasting commandments. You're going to see that wisdom throughout the scriptures are sometimes it is referred to as a woman, right? A woman that has unbelievable value. Let's put it like that for lack of better words, right? Verse 14 says what? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb. You understand? This is the wisdom. To fear the Lord, to obey the commandments. The word of God is wisdom. What is the word of God? The law, statutes, and commandments. That's wisdom. So now, we get back to Proverbs chapter 24, verse 5, where it says, a wise man is a man who has wisdom, is strong. Yea, a man of knowledge increases strength. Listen, it's a good thing for you to obey the laws, that's the commandments. If you're not, you're weak. And you lack wisdom. Let's go to verse 6. For by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war, and in multitude of counselors there is safety. If you're not seeking counsel, you're going to fail at everything you do, because everything you do is a battle. Whether it's seeking a job, whether it's having issues with a drug addiction, whether it's knowing how to deal with certain situations. Listening to the drug dealers on the block saying, I got you, I got the best weed in the world for the back pain, is not wise counsel. You're literally consuming something that will give you cancer or that will make you a schizophrenic. You're losing that war against the back pain. You might smoke, do something stupid, and, you know, who knows, fall down the stairs. Now your back hurts even more because you didn't listen to wise counsel. The wise counsel, when you have any ailments, is to honor a physician with the honor due to him, because that's what he's there for. Go see the doctor. Don't listen to the weed man on the block. Don't listen to anyone selling you any type of pills or cocaine or whatever the case is. Good night. The generation before us, you know, at some point they thought like crack was nothing. They were smoking crack like people are smoking weed today, until we realized, damn, it's a bad thing to be a crackhead. It's no different than being a weed head, really. The point is, they were listening to other people saying, you know what, try this new thing. It's the bomb. This is the new shit. And that was not wise counsel to fight the war against oppression. That was damn near the worst counsel ever. Now you have crackheads that have been on cracks for the longest time. You understand? Because it was normal. It was as normal as smoking weed at some point. The wise counsel for by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war. You want to fight an addiction? You don't fight cocaine addiction or whatever pills you're doing by smoking weed, and because it's not as bad. It's as bad. It's not one sin above the other. It's as bad. And don't try to say, well, at least it's not cocaine. What I'm consuming is a plant. You hear all the weed heads say that. I'm not smoking crack. I'm consuming a plant. Yeah? No sweat. Guess what? Plants were not made to smoke. Let's go into Genesis chapter 1, as well as Wisdom of Solomon. Let's go. Chapter 1, verse 29. We also grab Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16. Let's see what the Bible says about you smoking plants. Yeah? Genesis chapter 1, verse 29 says, and God said, behold, I have given thee every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. Never say it shall be for smoke. You know, you can consume these herbs, but not to get high. Listen, I'll use these as people use oregano as seasoning, thyme, mint. What else do you use as seasoning? Coriander, right? You'll never hear anyone say, yeah, they're smoking coriander or oregano or mint. It's always the marijuana, right? Every single plant has some effects. Don't say, you know what, it's not as bad because it's just a herb. Why are you not smoking coriander then? It's a herb too. You understand? Here's the thing. God did not create those plants for you to get high. Weed is not bad in the sense where some people are prescribed marijuana. Let's say people who have cancer are prescribed marijuana, right? They go to the doctor. What they do, they honor a physician. They go to the doctor. But if they're really people of the Lord, they're going to ask for, and when prescribed marijuana, they're going to ask for other ways to consume it, for instance, for their cancer or whatever ailment they have, besides smoking, because they know they can't smoke. They know it's a sin for them just to get high and start smoking left and right because they have cancer. You know. But the point is, the Most High created all plants not to be smoked. It says, to you it shall be for meat. So what made you think in your right mind, you know, especially for Rastafarians who like to pull up their precept to say that, yeah, you know what? It says the Most High created all the herbs for us. He did, but for meat, to be consumed, to be digested, not to smoke in your lungs. You understand? So every single one of y'all who think, you know what, you're not doing cocaine, you're smoking weed, so it's not as bad. It's as bad as cocaine. It's as bad as crack. It's as bad as tobacco. Tobacco is not bad in the sense where, again, it's just a plant that the Most High created. You know, it has its uses. Which one? I'm not an expert. I can't tell you what people use tobacco for besides smoking. I'm not an expert. But every single plant has its uses. If you're a botanist, right, you could find the uses of all the different plants, even the poisonous ones. They all have their uses and their qualities. If you could extract that, whatever is useful in that plant, you could use it for whatever it's intended for. The same way you could use the poppy. The poppy, people make heroin with it. Other people make codeine and all types of cough syrup. Now you using the cough syrup to get high, it's absolutely a sin. But let's say you have a cough. Good night. Have a spoon of syrup, not a whole pint. You understand? Everything has its use. The Most High created everything on the face of the earth to be used the right way, not to start rolling up and smoke everything. Then, before we get to Wisdom of Solomon to show you that the herb is not going to help you, if you smoke, you're gay. I'm going to just give it to you plain and simple. If you smoke, you're a sodomite. You're a homosexual. You're going to roll up. You're going to lick all over the paper and the blunt. So your saliva is holding that thing together, and then you're going to pass it in a rotation. And each one of y'all is going to add more saliva to where the filter is, literally by suctioning the smoke. Listen, you're gay. You're smoking on each other's saliva. You're sucking each other's saliva. Good fucking night. Salakia. Let that sink in. You know. Let that sink in. You have a very effeminate spirit. And it's not better if you're just in rotation with women. Y'all the same. And if you think that, well, I'm smoking with a woman, so it's her saliva. Listen, how many men is she smoking with? You don't know where her mouth been. It's just as bad. So let that sink in. Now, let me show you that. I'm gonna show you where, you know, again, seeking counsel is your only remedy. Contacting the men of the Lord is your only remedy. Following the commandments is the only thing that will heal you. That's what the Bible says. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm not giving you my, own perspective, own perception of things. No, look at this. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 12 says, "For it was neither herb nor a mollifying plaster that restored them to health, but thy word, O Lord, which healeth all things." Us going back to the scriptures, us going back to our moral code, to our way of life, is what would heal us from all ailments. Trusting in the Lord and not with our own understanding, which we really don't have in the first place, where our understanding was taken away from us because we keep sinning, left and right. Now we lack understanding. Now we lack reason because we sinned. The only way to regain reason, to regain wisdom, the knowledge, the only way that we could be healed is with the word of the Most High. Not like they say in the church, where they fake a prayer by holding your head or whatever the stupidness they do to church. This is not how they heal people. Them, good night. The church will make you even more sick. The church will make you even get higher than you've ever been. But what heals you, again, but thy word, O Lord, which healeth all things. This is what will heal you. This is what we heal Haiti. This is what we heal every single Native American Indian oppressed on the reservations. This is what we heal the French Benjamite being poisoned left and right with chloroquine and getting their land stolen. This is what would heal all the wounds caused by gun violence throughout our nation. The word of the Lord. What does the word of the Lord say? To love thy brother like thyself. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Coming into the I.S.U.P.K, understand that your neighbor is a fellow Israelite. Knowing that Christ is a nigga. Maybe you will think twice before killing another nigga. You understand? Knowing that you should honor a physician with the honor that is due unto him. Maybe you will not see the weed man as your doctor. Maybe you actually go to the actual doctor and get whatever prescription he gives you. Maybe all you need is just sleep. All you need is probably to close your eyes and count the sheep instead of rolling up a blunt and smoking weed. Again, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 12, "For it was neither herb nor mollifying plaster that restored them to health." You're going to smoke all the weed in the world and you're still going to be sick. You're going to smoke all the weed in the world, you're still going to be depressed. It's not made to, is that good night. And you're going to feel worse. You're never going to feel better smoking weed. You're always going to feel worse smoking weed and doing all the drugs in the world. What will heal you and make you feel better? But thy word, or Lord, which healeth all things. This is how you're going to feel better. This is how you're going to be healed. You understand? As a matter of fact, even, listen, even you trying to leave those drugs alone, and when you get, and you don't know what to do, when you get tempted left and right, the Bible has a solution for you too. What does the word of the Lord say, you know, when you get tempted like that? Let's say, for instance, let me give you an example. I.S.U.P.K Atlanta, SHALAM, Yabashashwakta, water for tuning in, I don't want. Let me give you an example, right? Let's say you manage to stop smoking. Let's say you manage to stop getting high. But you're tempted left and right. What should you do? Of course, seek counsel, but what should you do when you're faced with sin like that, left and right? Especially if you're weak-minded, you're not as strong as other brothers and sisters, right? Or to any other brothers and sisters that is not as strong as you are. What should they do when it comes to that? We give y'all like 30 seconds. We know we need to seek counsel, which we're going to get back to, right? To trust in the Lord with all our heart and not leaning on our own understanding. But what should we do when we're faced with, temptation to sin like that? What should we do when we manage to stop doing drugs, but we run into someone? You run on the block, just go buy a bottle of water. You see niggas on the block smoking and tell you, hey, you want to hit it? It's been a long time. What should you do? According to the scriptures, what should you do? Adulteress, anyone on the TikTok as well, you could feel free to try and respond. I'll give y'all 30 seconds, 15 seconds. What should you do when faced with sin like that and you don't know what to do, right? And you're not sure what to do. Resist and seek counsel. That's what Adolphus said. Well, we know to seek counsel, but in that moment, right? You going down your house, your building, apartment complex, whatever the case is, right? Good night. You see your neighbor smoking right in front of the building. He tells you, do you want to hit the cigarette? Do you want to hit it? Or you run into someone in the club, you go into the bathroom, you see an old friend of yours, and he's snorting cocaine all night. He's telling you want to hit it? What do you do then? In a split second, what do you do? Ain't nothing gonna stop you from seeking counsel ever. But what should you do in that moment, in that instant? I'm gonna give you one more chance, and then I'm gonna give y'all the answer. Pray. I'm gonna give you the answer, right? Because by the time you pray, listen, God probably gonna tell you, listen, stop doing whatever you're doing and hit the blunt. It's simple. Ecclesiasticus chapter 21 verse 2 says, flee from sin as from the face of a serpent. If you need to, that's all you need to do. You flee from sin as from the face of a serpent. Whether it's a venomous snake, whether it's a constrictor, right? Exactly. Keep it moving, Adolphus says. Ecclesiasticus, in other words, exactly like Ecclesiasticus 21:2 says, flee from sin as from the face of a serpent. Why? For if thou comest too near it, it will bite thee. Listen, don't second guess yourself. Just keep moving. Because if you second guess yourself, if you go too close to these niggas on the block smoking weed that are on your way, you might be tempted. It might be the smell. You might reminisce. You might think about a good time that you had in the past, and will bite thee. It will hurt you. You might put your hand towards that spliff and think, should I not? Don't try to fight yourself like that. Should you or should you not? Just flee from it. If you have to cross the street and don't, Don't have the weed smokers in your way. You see someone snoring cocaine in the bathroom, listen, turn around. That's it. You can wait. Hold it. You can wait. That's in that split second when you're tempted to sin. Flee from sin as from the face of a serpent. You understand? You seen that woman that you've been wanting to sleep with. Now she's a whore, but she's telling you, listen, I'll give it to you. Nah. If you're a weak person and it's like you really want her, listen, but you know what she's doing. She's a whore. You turn it down. You flee from her. Good night. Don't even have to talk. Just you turn and go another way. Cross the street. The point is, flee from sin. Some of y'all can't even be too. Some of y'all are still being affected by the weed smoke in the air. People are smoking every day, everywhere. Good night. My city's Canada. Weed will be legal in Canada since what? 2017, 2018, give or take. The whole country smells like a weed farm, right? A lot of people, when they try to stop, they go back to it because the smell is affecting them, because they're still around the same people they used to hang out with. Don't hang out with the same weed smokers you used to smoke with and expect to be strong enough to never, smoke again. You might just have to cut everyone off. You want to flee from sin as if you're fleeing from a serpent, whether it's a venomous one, whether it's an anaconda, whether it's a python, whether it's a boa, whether it's a viper. You flee from sin as from the face of a serpent. Why? For if thou comest too near it, it will bite thee. You might just end up smoking again. You might just end up snorting all the cocaine again because you went too close to it. You got tempted. You touched it. You said, you know what? Let me grab the split for you, and I'm gonna put it out. Instead of putting it out, you put it in your mouth. No diddy, and now you're back getting high again. No. Just flee from sin as from the face of a serpent. Keep it moving. Don't even question yourself. Just say la'ah and don't second guess yourself. Once you say la'ah, you keep it moving. That's what you need to do to not relapse. And of course, like Adolphus said in the chat, seek counsel. And that's how you resist sin. You don't second guess yourself. You flee from it. You keep it moving. And if needed be, you need to seek counsel because you need to tell the men above you how you were tempted and you still need help to fight temptation. Well, guess what? Seek counsel. Of course, seek counsel every day, all the time for anything. Good night. At some point, I seek counsel for what to eat. I'm like, Salaki, sir, I need to eat better. What should I eat? What fruit should I eat? Listen, seek counsel on how you need to breathe. Seek counsel on how to breathe. Seek counsel on how to good night, walk or talk. Seek counsel for everything, right? The point is, when you see sin, you need to flee from it. That's how you're going to prevent yourself from relapsing. And don't worry about anything. It's the same way. It's not, you don't even have to apply it just for drug use, but just in general, right? When it says, as we read earlier in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5, just paraphrasing, to trust in the Lord and to lean not into your own understanding. Right. At the end of the day, you could apply this not just to drug use, but to everything we're going through in life. As a matter of fact, real quick, let's go to Matthew's chapter 6, and we'll start at verse 24, right? It might just also apply to you making money. You were in a situation in the world where you were making money. You're probably good, nice. You're probably selling drugs. You're probably selling drugs. Guess what? Same way you flee from sin, from drug abuse or from drug use, you flee from sin from selling those drugs. If you were selling drugs, it could be tempting, making money like you used to make money. You understand? You probably making 10 grand a week, 10 grand a month. Who knows? 50 grand a month. This is why, listen, let's go to Matthew chapter 6, verse 24, which you're going to understand really how deep it is to trust in the Lord. It's not just a Christian saying, you know what, I trust in God and I think about him and whatever the Christians like to say. No. There's a deeper understanding when it comes to trusting in the Lord with all your heart, with all your mind, than with all the fibers of your body. Right? Matter of fact, Kasha, give me 1 second. Y'all bear with me for 2 seconds, Kasha. So, Lakia, for the interruption, let me do the TikTok real quick. All right, we're back again. It's deeper than to just say to trust in the Lord, right? With all thine heart. Let's go to Matthew chapter 6, verse 24. As I was saying, we're going to break this down. We'll see the extent of trusting in the Lord. Matthew chapter 6, verse 24. No man can serve two masters. That's Christ talking to you, right? No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other. You're going to have to pick a side. You're going to have to choose. You can't serve two masters. You know, you're going to have to either trust in the Lord or trust in the plug. You can't trust in the Lord and trust in the plug. You understand? Because you will have to hate the Lord if you love the plug. If you love buying all the drugs, if you love selling all the drugs, you will hate the Lord. Or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. Right? Let's go to verse 25. For those who don't understand, you're going to have to choose if you want to serve God or to sin. You're going to have to choose if you want to obey God or disobey God. In that instance, is talking about making money, right? You're going to have to understand that you're going to have to choose whether you want to keep on making that money by selling those drugs or whatever you're doing, or are you going to trust in the Lord and the Lord will provide? Not like the Christians like to say, well, I pray to the Lord to have a brand new car. And then I listen, the drug dealers say the same thing. Drug dealers say, I pray to the Lord and then the Lord blessed me with 10 keys. The Lord didn't bless you with 10 keys. The devil did. Good night. Matthew chapter 6, verse 25. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body what ye shall put on. Meaning what? Don't worry about how you're going to go about every single day. Don't worry about what to eat, what to drink. Don't worry about how you're going to make your money. Don't worry about how you're going to keep keep clothes on your back, a roof on your head. You're going to see why. Is not the life more important than meat and the body than raiment? Is not the life more important than meat and the body? Is it not more than raiment, meaning clothing? You understand? Don't worry about what you're going to put on because you're not making the money anymore, right? Don't worry about that. Your life is worth more than that. You understand? Give me 1 second. Let's go to, again, as we see, the fear of the Lord is what is obeying the commandments. Well, what is life? Proverbs chapter 14, verse 27. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life. You obeying the commandment is life. You not eating pork, you're not going to die from diabetes or whatever ringworm or whatever worm you get from the pork. You not smoking, you're not going to die from lung cancer. You not being a homosexual, you will not get the monkeypox. You're not sleeping with whores, you will not get a horrible baby mother. Or shit, you can still get the monkeypox from sleeping with whores. It's the same thing. The point is, the fear of the Lord, obeying the Most High, is a fountain of life to depart from the snares of death. You understand? That's life. Now let's get back to Matthew 6 and 25, which we just read. Is not the life more than meat and the body than raiment? Listen, your life is worth more than what you're going to eat tomorrow. You understand? The Most High cares more about you than the clothes on your back. And you're going to understand why, regardless of your situation, just trust in the Lord with all thine heart, as we seen earlier. Matthew chapter 6, verse 26. Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns. Yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? You, as a chosen people of the Most High, you are better than every single bird in the air. Yet, what do they do for the Most High to keep them alive? For the Most High, for them to be taken care of? They don't worry about silly stuff. They don't worry about making money. They don't worry about anything, really. They're just birds. They fly. They fly. They relieve themselves. They lay eggs. And that's it. They're just birds being birds. They don't sow their food. They don't harvest the food. The Most High is making sure the birds eat. And the birds are being birds. What about you? You think the Most High is not going to make sure you're okay? If he makes sure the birds are okay and you're better than the birds in his eyes? Let's keep reading. Which of you by taking thought can add 1 cubit unto his stature? Listen, you worrying on a daily basis, you're not going to grow taller. And even if you do, adding worries onto worries, like what is, like, what are you going to achieve by worrying all the time? All you need to do is to trust in the Lord, and part of that is to seek counsel when needed be. But what are you going to achieve by worrying all the time and adding worries onto worries? The birds are being taken care of as just being birds. You do what you're supposed to do. We'll see that as well after we finish breaking down Matthew chapter 6. Salakia. Verse 28. Why take ye thought for raiment? Why do you worry about whatever you're going to put on your back? Right? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. What the lily? The lily is literally the favorite flower of the Most High. Now imagine the lilies of the field. What do? They just grow. They're flowers. They don't do nothing but grow, spread the pollen, multiply. That's it. They don't do nothing but grow and look beautiful. So why are you worried about what you're going to put on your back? Why are you worried about how you're going to make money to put clothes on your back? Or whatever the case is. The point is, why you worry about certain things that, listen, the Most High will take care of for you. Just like he makes sure the lily just grow and just look beautiful. He makes sure the birds are birds and fed. You understand? 29, and yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Verse 30, wherefore if God so clothed the grass of the field, which today is, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe you? O ye of little faith? Listen, Christ is telling you, just like guys making sure the grass looks good, the flowers look good, that today they look good and tomorrow they're probably going to get picked and thrown in the oven, used as spice or used as whatever. You understand? The grass is going to die tomorrow, but he's making sure it look good. He's making sure the grass is just beautiful. The flowers, the lilies are beautiful. Just like he's taking care of his creation, which is just grass, even the weeds, the insects, the birds. Will he not take care of you? Will he not make sure you get clothes on your back? You understand? If God could take care of, the insignificant flower that'll be picked tomorrow and just fade away, or the birds that'll probably get shot or eaten by another bird or another animal, he can't take care of you? Verse 31, therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or wherewith shall we be clothed? Listen, you worry too much about things that the Most High will provide for you. Stop worrying too much. That's the point. But what am I going to eat? I don't have no money. I need to go rob such and such. No, you don't. The Most High will give you something to eat. The Most High, good night, give us something to eat in the wilderness after we fled from Egypt. We were running out of food. Or what shall we drink? You're going to go, what, steal from someone, sell drugs to buy a bottle of water? Or to buy some clothes? You understand? Verse 32 says, for after all these things do the Gentiles seek, for your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of all things. You think you don't know? God knows that you need to drink, to eat, to have some clothes on your back. Oh, he knows. Just like he knows the animals need to be taken care of. He knows that his people, his favorite people, his children need to be taken care of. And the Most High is not a deadbeat dad. He is taking care of his children. All we need to do is listen to him. That's it. Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. What is the moral of the story? When it says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not to your own understanding. The moral of the story in Matthew chapter 6, you understand, is simple. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13, it says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Here's the conclusion. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. This is all you have to do for God to take care of you. You don't have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about food, about clothing. Don't have to worry about, women, or if you're ever going to have children, if you have a roof on your head, whatever the case is. It's raining, you don't have an umbrella. Fear God and keep his commandments. That's the moral of the story, literally. You understand? If needed be, of course, seek counsel. Always seek counsel. Even when you don't need it, good night, seek counsel. You already know what to do, no sweat. Seek counsel. Make sure you're going to do the right decision. But the point, as we just read in Matthew chapter 6, verse 24 on down to 23, is the same thing that's said in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. To trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Stop worrying about, I'm not making enough money. The Lord probably is going to, who knows? You probably forgot to do your taxes last year. He's going to remind you, and then you get a double check. You get all the money in the world. Probably win the lottery the next day. The Lord will take care of you. Whatever you need, you will get. As long as you fear him and you keep his commandments. Hey, shalom, sakanya, bashan shabakata, water for two and then You understand? That's the whole thing. Again, Matthew chapter 6, verse 33 says what? But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. You won't have to worry about what food is going to be in your stomach, what clothes are going to be on your back, as long as you obey the Most High. And he will take care of you, just like he takes care of the birds. The birds are just being birds. You, as the children of God, just need to do what God told you to do. Just like, what are your parents telling you? Your parents told you, listen, I'm going to buy you a new pair of shoes. Just listen to what I tell you. I'm going to get you the Xbox. I'm going to get you a new phone. I'm going to, listen, you're going to get some pizza later. Just listen. That's it. That's the only thing the Most High is telling us all the time. Just listen. You understand? And he will give us what we need. Even if there's oppression, we'll still get what we need if we obey him. Verse 34, take therefore no thought for tomorrow, for tomorrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Listen, don't worry about what's going on today. Why? Don't worry about what's going to go on tomorrow. Why? Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. You have enough on your mind already. Don't stress yourself with too much and then you start getting high. Seek counsel. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. You understand? And that's it. Again, if you feel like you have that moment of weakness when you see someone smoking, as we've seen earlier, like Adolphus said, keep moving. Just like Ecclesiasticus said in chapter 21, verse 2, right? Flee from sin as from the face of a serpent. And trust in the Lord. That's it. Trust in the Lord into making you a better warrior on how to fight that war, whatever war you're going through. You understand? Let's get that as a matter of fact. Because as his children, we are to be like our Father, right? How's our Father like, though? Let me show you how our Father is like. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. We're supposed to fight every day. Every day is a fight. It's a fight against the addiction. It's a fight against all the demons that you go through. Listen, fight to wake up on time and go to work. Fight to do 1 push-up and then fight to do 20 more. Fight to make breakfast on time. Fight, good night. You have an appetite issue. Fight to eat. You're an alcoholic. You can't drink nothing but alcohol. Fight to not drink alcohol and fight to drink water. You understand? And as we read earlier, seek counsel to be able to win those wars. Whatever war you're going through, seek counsel. That's really the topic of the class. Don't lean into your own understanding, thinking, you know what, I'm gonna self-medicate myself. I'm gonna do all the drugs in the world. I'm gonna feel better. You're not. You're not going to feel better. You're going to feel worse. It's bad and you're going to be worse. You understand? What you need to do is seek counsel all the time. Right? Because you doing drugs is like, how could I put it? You're trying to make it seem like you getting high is healing some wounds that you have. Maybe it's trauma. Maybe it's, again, pain, whatever ailment you have. Instead of fighting through it and seeking counsel to be able to know how to fight it, you destroy yourself even more than you already destroyed. You understand? Give me 1 second. Counsel is good. Counsel is, let me show you how good counsel is. And then you're going to see how, you know, to be able to seek it. Let me show you, to be able to seek it to win those wars. And that counsel is damn near the best thing that you could ever get in your life. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 9. Let me show you how good counsel is. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 9. This is how good counsel is. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart. So doth the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. Listen, that's how good counsel is. You understand? This is how good. Listen, counsel will never fail you. Of course, good counsel will never fail you. Without good counsel, you are doomed to fail. You are doomed to lose that fight, to lose that war against all the demons you're fighting against. If you're fighting against them, so a lot of people don't know they need to fight those demons. I used to listen to Tech Nine. He had a song that said, with 3-6 Mafia, there's a demon inside of me. Can I kill it? Hell no. Well, guess what? In the U.P.K, we're professional in killing all those demons. You understand? We're professionals. We kill those demons. We exorcise them. We slaughter the legion of demons. If you need to know how to do so, call for counsel. Because where there's no counsel, what happens? You will lose the war. You will lose the fight. You will not know how to defend yourself against these evil spirits. You will not know that you need to flee from sin, as from the face of a serpent. You will not know that when someone hands you a drug and that it will make you feel better, you just have to say no and keep walking. Don't even question it. Don't question yourself. Just say no, keep walking. Don't know why? Because you're not seeking counsel. Because you think you know better. You don't. The Most High, again, as we read earlier in Deuteronomy 28:28, the Most High struck us with madness. We don't have no common sense. We don't know no better. If we lack reasoning, what makes us think that we can listen to someone who lacks reasoning for themselves? Seek counsel. Why? Because Proverbs 11:14 says, where no counsel is, the people fall. There's no counsel, guess what? Against that fight, against those demons, you will fall. And they will stomp on your face. You will fall in the war and you will die. That's what happens when you don't seek counsel. You will be in danger. Danger of what? Of dying because you sin. You'll be in danger of dying because you smoke crack. You'll be in danger of dying because where no counsel is, the people fall. And when you fall in a fight, you lose the fight. It could cost you your life. If you fall in the war, you'll definitely just lose your life. But in the multitude of counselors, there's safety. Why? Because if you don't know how to fight, you understand, you'll be provided the solution and the ways to fight those demons. If you don't know no better, call for counsel to know better and to apply it. Now that you know better, you do better. You didn't know that you could just say no when it comes to drugs. You didn't know that you could just flee from sin. Now you do. So now what you do next time that you're tempted to sin, because someone offers you pork, because someone offers you a pill, someone offers you Molly, cocaine, or whatever the case is, you flee from sin as of the face from a serpent. You say no and you keep moving. You understand? That's what you do. You say no, you keep moving. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 15, verse 22. As a matter of fact, let's go to verse 20. Yeah, Proverbs 15 and 22. Where it said, without counsel, purposes are disappointed. Listen, you didn't seek the proper counsel. You listened to the man on the block telling you will feel good. You felt disappointed because now you feel shitty. You just want to do all the drugs in the world to feel higher than ever before. because drugs don't fix the problem. You listen to bad counsel, you listen to bad advice, and you're disappointed. They told you how to fight your demons by someone told, what's his name again, the rapper from Florida? Someone told Trick Daddy to smoke cocaine in his blunts to fight with his lupus. Best believe he disappointed. All he could do is just get higher. If he would call the Florida school, they would tell him, they would help him with his drug abuse and would tell him, listen, you have lupus, no sweat. What you do with the lupus, right? It would show him Ecclesiasticus chapter 38, verse 1, and they would have told him, honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him. Go to the doctor. Don't smoke cocaine because you have lupus. Just go to the doctor. For why? For the Lord had created him. The reason why we have doctors, to address the ailments that we suffer from. Go to the doctor. Don't smoke cocaine. Don't listen to yourself. You listen to yourself, you make horrible decisions. You think the cocaine in your blunt will cure your lupus. It will not. You probably might have a chance to live longer if you go to the doctor. You decide to smoke cocaine. Go to the doctor. Because you lean into your own understanding or whoever told you to smoke cocaine in your blunt, well, Trick Daddy, you will be disappointed. Without counsel, purposes are disappointed, but in the multitude of counselors, they are established. Listen, call for counsel. It will fix all your issues. You will know how to win the war against your demons, against your ailments, against all the emotions that you feel, which really is a demon talking to you, telling you, yeah, smoke all the weed in the world. You will not be depressed. Don't listen to that voice in your head. Call for counsel. If it's hard to you to just say no, you feel like you might relapse, call John Mahayman, call any captain, Captain Tazaria, Captain Kaza, Captain Hadar Ya'ala, and seek counsel. Call all the officers. Seek counsel. This is how you win the war against your demons. This is the only way for you to win the war against your demons. This is how we prevent death in the community. Going back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, going back to this constitution, we would know that, listen, it's hard for me to deal with this. Let me call this person in charge and seek counsel. As we see right here, without counsel, purposes are disappointed. Well, guess what? Proverbs 20:18 says, every purpose is established by counsel. Everything. Literally. And with good advice, make war. How do you fight all those demons? Instead of listening to the advice of these niggas on the block telling you, yeah, you know what, smoke this, you'll feel better. Seek counsel. You'll feel better. You'll be provided with the proper advice on how to fight those demons. You will not be going back to selling drugs. You will trust in the Lord. You might call a brother that might hear you having some, financial issues. He might be providing you some financial relief. Instead of calling a brother for counsel, you go back selling all the crack in the city. You end up dead or in jail. Instead of seeking counsel, what you do, you think you're a doctor and you start self-medicating. Then you feel worse than ever before. What did we read earlier? The herbs is not going to help you. The word of the Lord will heal everything. Part of it is that you need to seek counsel. You will learn how to fight those demons by seeking counsel. That good advice. You understand? Proverbs 20:18 says, every purpose is established by counsel, and with good advice, make war. You will not win those fights by listening to bad advice. That fight against lupus, Trick Daddy's not going to win this fight against the lupus if his advice or whoever's advice is to smoke cocaine. Smoking kills, and you add cocaine onto that, good night. You're not going to cure yourself from cancer. It's not going to happen. You understand? And we understand you don't want to listen to it. Again, the word of the Lord healeth all things, right? Let's get that again one more time. Let's go into Wisdom of Solomon 16. Right. What was 16 and 12? That's what I said. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 16, verse 12, where it says, "For it was neither herb nor mollifying plaster that restored them to health, but thy word, O Lord, which healeth all things." Here's the thing. It is a hard pill to swallow. When you have medication to take, nobody wants to take the medication. The medication tastes nasty, right? You don't like medication. You understand? 1 second. You don't like the medication. That medication, that wisdom, the word of the Lord is a hard pill to swallow. That is for you. You feel like it's disgusting to stop smoking. If you feel like it's not normal. Here's the thing. Wisdom, that knowledge, that wisdom of the Lord is unpleasant because you don't know no better. That's the only reason why you think it's unpleasant to find an alternative to smoking weed or to getting high. You feel like, it's unpleasant to find an alternative to stop sleeping with whores, to keep every single woman you sleep with. It's unpleasant because you don't know no better. The reason you don't know no better is because we've been stripped of our knowledge and of our heritage as Israelites. But here's the thing, right? Ecclesiasticus chapter 6 verse 20 says, "She is very unpleasant to the unlearned." It's talking about the wisdom. It is very unpleasant to you because you don't know better. You don't know you need to seek counsel. That's why when we tell you to stop smoking, to stop sleeping with whores, to stop being a drug addict, you're like, what do you mean? There's no other solution. There is. Solution is come to these classes. Do your 90 days. We will get you clean off of these drugs. You understand? What did Christ said to the woman, to the adulteress? Sin no more. You need help when it comes to temptation. You just seek counsel and flee from sin. You don't know how to do that because to you, you don't know better. You have no common sense, which is just one of the plagues that would fall upon us because we disobeyed the Most High. We went against what he says to do. And the only thing that we have never tried is to come back to this understanding, to the word of God that healeth all things. That's the only thing we never tried to do. You can't say that you tried that by going to church, because the church don't obey the God. The church don't follow God. The church is like, the church is like, Salaki. The church is a gay club and a whorehouse. Everyone who gets high going to church. Pastors get high. The church is not going to help you. The church don't follow God. They tell you that, yeah, if you listen to the Most High, you will get healed. They don't listen to the Most High. That's why they also get high. That's why they have all types of sickness. And being a Christian is the biggest sickness in the church. They don't know how to heal that sickness because they don't follow the Most High. You understand? The solution is to come to these classes to learn how to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. And that they would not be, listen, if there's no drug use, there's no drug abuse, right? It will prevent all the death in our community related to drug abuse, because we could fix the issue of drug use in our community. How? By coming back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. It's that simple. What did the Most High say again? In 1 John chapter 5, verse 3, right? 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Listen, his commandments are not grievous. It's not something painful. It's not something that's harsh on you to follow the commandments. Really. It's not even, this is a hard pill to swallow. You know, it is unpleasant to the unlearned because you don't know no better. All you know is going to church. All you know is, listen, you think it's because you were brainwashed to thinking that you are part of this empire, that because weed is legal nationwide in Canada, ain't nothing wrong in smoking weed. It is very wrong. It is not different than smoking crack. Because you don't know no better, that knowledge, that wisdom of the Most High, it hurts. It doesn't feel good. It feels weird. It feels weird not to get high. It feels weird not to be part of a sinful lifestyle. The only reason for you that it feels weird is because you still think that you are part of this world. You think that, you know, you're supposed to mingle with everybody. The thing is, as we read in Ecclesiasticus 6:20, right, where it says it's unpleasant to the unlearned, the reason it feels weird for you not to sin, right, is because you got so used to being part of this sinful society. Because really, it's not that it feels weird for you not to sin. It actually feels weird to sin. You feel like it's not, you know, it's not normal for you to get high. You know it's not normal, but because you're brainwashed and you're so destroyed that you gravitate towards anything that looks pleasant, looks or feel pleasant, which is everything you'll find in the world, really in this society. When you stop doing what other people do, it feels weird, right? It feels, what's the word again they used? Let's get it real quick, right? Feel like you have much sorrow. You feel not, you know, part of the group. You feel left out. That's why, you know, just like it says in 1 Maccabees 1:11, in those days when they're out of Israel, wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. You have had much sorrow when we don't get high no more, because everybody gets high. Just like when they left Egypt, they told Moses, listen, we were better off with the Egyptians. You want to be around the heathens. So when you're not around them, it just feels messed up. When you're not following after the heathens, it feels weird. You have much sorrow. This precept, why I bring out this precept is really to show that when you're not mingling with them, or, you know, when you're not taking on their culture, right? When it says to make a covenant with the heathen around us, since we departed, meaning since we set ourselves apart and we separated from them, we feel weird. We have much sorrow. We don't feel like we're normal. You know, we have to abide by some rules. They don't. Well, guess what? These people are a lawless people. We have laws to follow. And for a lot of us, it actually feels weird to not follow the laws, because naturally, we are a clean people. Naturally, we're not drug addicts. We always question, like, how can we kill each other like that? Because naturally, we're not supposed to slaughter each other left and right. Let the Russians and the Ukrainians bomb each other to the Stone Age. It's not our culture to kill each other. It's not our culture to use drugs. It's not our culture to be whores, whoremongers, sodomites, all type of sexual deviancy. Is not our culture. So really, it's not that you feel weird separating from the heathens. That you feel weird in the first place, and you have much sorrow. You don't understand, right, what's going on right now in the first place, because it's not supposed to happen to follow after the heathens. You're not. We are meant to be separated. The heathens don't need to seek. It's not that they don't seek counsel. The counsel they seek is to do all the drugs in the world. That's the counsel they seek. The counsel they seek is that we need more land. Let's kill some people and let's get the land. That's the counsel they have. As a matter of fact, let me show you the counsel of the heathens. The counsel of the heathens is to keep you destroyed. You ever heard about, when they put weed in the community and they put all types of chemicals in the weed is to keep us a certain type of way? Well, guess what? It's the Confederate counsel that they had between them to keep us destroyed like that. You understand? All these heathens, that's their counsel. That's their ways to keep us destroyed. And when we separate from them, we think it's a bad thing. We think we have much sorrow. No, we don't. We're really better off when we separate from them and their sinful lifestyle. Because being among them, it's easier for them to destroy us when we're among them. You understand? That's why it's imperative. It's a must for us to separate from them. You're making it easy for them to destroy you at the end of the day. If we separate from them, listen, in all their ways, there will be no drug use in the community. Already it's sickening for us to be just mingling with them is really just not normal. Why are we around all these people? Why are all these people around us? Why do we have all the Arabs, all the Asians, all the white people? Listen, in the world, right, whenever there was people chilling or a party, whatever the case is, whenever there were heathens around, a majority of heathens, any brother and sister know they feel out of place when they're around brothers. Listen, I remember in the world, one time I was around none but Mexicans. I felt at home compared to when you were around all the other heathens. It's like, yo, listen, you don't feel good around heathens. You lie to yourself by saying, you know what? Departing from the heathens, we have much sorrow. We really don't. We feel out of place when it comes down to it. When we realize that we're supposed to be separated, naturally, deep down in you, you know that you're not supposed to be surrounded by the heathens. You're not supposed to be mingling with them and taking on their ways of life. Their ways of life is to destroy you. You understand? That's in Psalms chapter 83. They have taken crafty counsel to keep you destroyed, and you're just making it easier for them. That's why we have to separate from them and everything that they partake in. Right? We're going to get these few precepts and then we're going to end the class. Give me 1 second. Let's go into Psalms chapter 83, verse 1. We're starting at verse 1, right? Give me 1 second. Psalms chapter 83, verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O God, and hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. As a matter of fact, let's go to verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. What's a tumult? They're making noise. They're making damn near a riot. They're making an uprising. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. We'll see who hates the Most High and who are his enemies and what do they do during the tumult. Instead, when they lift up the head, I mean, they're challenging the Most High. Verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. So they're plotting against the people of God. Who is the people of God? The children of Israel, you, blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. The same people that you think you can't separate from, or else you're going to be very sad. Or else you're going to feel left out. These same people have taken crafty counsel against you. You understand? And consulted against thy hidden ones. They're consulting against you. They're plotting against you for your downfall, your demise. Verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. They're plotting to utterly destroy you. That's what they're doing. You understand? You can't realize that. And you sure can't realize that smoking all the weed in the world. You're too high to realize it. If you need help with your drug addiction, call the closest ISUPK near you. That's what you need to do. You reject everything of this society. Is getting high, sleeping with whores, selling all the drugs, making, listen, all the criminal activities, really. All the sinful lifestyle. And just, that's it. Simple as eating pork. Reject that. Switch the pork bacon for turkey bacon. But if you have an addiction that is really hard to beat because you don't know how to fight it, call the ISUPK near you. Call the camp leader. You understand? If you're in Canada, call Captain Hadar Yala. Right? It's that simple. One phone call, you're one phone call away from changing your life. One phone call away from changing a life. Just Google I.S.U.P.K, whatever city you're in, whatever country you're in. We're in Jamaica, we're in the UK, we're in Puerto Rico, we're in Mexico. Call in the number. That's one phone call away from changing your life, whatever you're going through. You're probably one counsel away. You're one class away, one YouTube search away from changing your life. All you have to do is sit in these classes to understand what we lack, which is this knowledge that this Bible is our constitution. This Bible is our book. It's not the white man's book. Those drugs that you're doing are the white man's drugs, like I said in the first place. You understand? Let's try to do something that we have never tried to do before, which is to actually follow the laws, statutes, and commandments as we are supposed to do. This is literally the only thing that we have to do. The whole duty of man is to fear God and follow his commandments. You understand? Matter of fact, let's get that one last precept, and then we're going to end the class. So the Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13, one more time. The only thing that we have to do, the only thing that is to be done that we never tried before, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. There is nothing else for us to try besides fearing God and keeping his commandments. This is the only thing we have never tried yet. As per Hosea chapter 4 and 6 says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge because they reject the knowledge. Why? Because they say it's a white man's book, but they don't reject the white man's drugs though. They don't reject the white man's guns. They sure don't reject the white man's woman, but they reject what they think is the white man's book when it's not the white man's book. But everything else they try is the white man's way. Now let's go back and try our way, the only way, to fear God and to keep his commandments. With that, so I'm going to end the class right there, right? I'm going to get the security announcements. We'll be back next week, next Thursday, for the Brotherhood class in English on ISUPK Montreal in Toronto, live on YouTube and Facebook, and ISUPK Toronto on TikTok. Priest and Officer 500 Baraki Allah. With that, Shalom, Yabashashwakatam, to the brothers, Yabashmalatam, Bashmir, to all the sisters. The ISUPK security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming Holy Convocation, we have the memorial of blowing of trumpets coming up, which will be Wednesday, October 2nd. You can read more about it in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 24 to 25. Reminder to all Akim and Akwatian to check the bulletin board in the hallway of the school if they have a physical location. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, he would start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that, so we'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers and a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel Amajim, which means to stand, we'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel Amajim Shabbat. Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Brakatham, which means Yahweh in the name of Yahushai. Bless y'all. Yajamata, which means hands down. Sar, which means to turn. So we'll give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel Amajim Shabbat. Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Alatam Ba'Hashem Yahushai, meaning Yahweh, Yahweh, watch over y'all in the name of Yahushai. Yajamata, class dismissed. And remember, tomorrow, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Captain Kataza will be live on Beagle to address the 12 tribe chart. If you want to break down, if you have any questions, some points of contention, just come respectfully or be booted out respectfully. With that, Shalom, Israel.
Yeah. I want West in I place once more. Yeah, easy. You wanna know where I come from? You wanna know where I come from? I don't want the Middle East, but y'all out the West one get the kid peace. Me step over to pretty Christine, a big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty Christine. Me deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now you top 10 killing increase. And we no join both sides. I one West are the best you fi know boy. You put a S on your chest when the chrome pint. Every bone a broke we left lone tribe. Make a force right boy if you know your size. Don't see me on the street and a force fight. You get ratchet knife in your throat pipe. Man who make your chop flesh like your ghost rise. Give up the ghost, make it both white. Y'all shut up, bend over, pan to a pint. Fuck you, make you get wet like a boat ride. If you hold tight, y'all, me a hold tight. Alright, no later, then more time. Me have things to do, but got more fight. Look you at the nanny, girl, do a bright. Probably we shoot the bumbo clad, do a grind. That's where me come from. I don't want the Middle East, but y'all out the West one get the kid piece. Me step over to pretty Christine, a big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty crisp clean. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now you top thing. Yeah, them do bad, I just smoke them up, I just slogan. You could have big and tough like Hulk Hogan. You get your own a bag, you get total. Send your soul to God, their best no God. The whole fucking clip of your own that. No come set, no chop for your own bat. I go get sent off a run postal. Get a PO box. She say me handsome, she want hold me cocky at ransom. She want hood fi broke, she want yam some. She say breed me, give me that one son, boy. We have shotgun, we have Remington, we have Magnum. So if I beef you want, you can have some. Anything we come turn in a phantom. And where we come from, I don't want the Middle East, but y'all out the West one get the kid piece. Me step over to pretty Christine, a big broad smile and giggling teeth. Have a brand new 4-5 pretty Christine. We deal with the chica press pretty pristine. Them say them bad but we no intrigue. If you this now you top 10 killing increase. Increase.